I thought you were there like really deep. No money, no fame, just you and me. My hands really bad that I can't believe everything you said sounds like a fucking out of me. Please go get up from fucking knees. I can stand up or down when it's not on me. Big clown when you don't get down on me. Not that good if you ask, but I need to see. At least we've tried, no need to feel bad cause I'm a mess, let's freaking leave. This life that you're young is a courtesy, so much more.
Well. Good evening, everybody. Good Wednesday. Hello. How are you doing, Denton?
Oh, I'm doing very well. I hope all the people watching us are also doing well. I hope they're doing as well as we are. Anyway,
I
I
hope so
just
too. Hope I didn't make everybody sad with that intro video.
no,
I gotta
that was
start paying
different.
attention to those, right?
That was it was different. It was a bit of a message there,
That was what I was going for. Those little small acts of kindness, those thousands of people just walking on by.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, well, one little act of kindness goes a long way. I think so. It's good to remember things like that.
Maybe a little bit sad to watch. At least it's not nuclear bombs like blasting all over the earth like the
Well, or
last
even non-nuclear bombs. I mean, I don't want any kind of bomb going off anywhere near me. Thank
I
you very much.
I probably shouldn't have done that show that week. If I was doing intro videos like that would have been really depressing. Hello, everybody that's tuning in. Leah, good evening, Munastara.
Oh,
Lee,
hello.
how are
Yes,
you
good evening.
doing? Mandy, how are you doing? Our guest, just say hello to everybody out there tonight. Pam, good evening to you. Tanya, hello. We got some of that's well,
Oh,
Tanya
yes.
is
Hello, Tanya. Hello,
one of our
Tanya.
sponsors on the show, the North Fox Creations. Good
Mm.
evening to you. Which we got a couple more sponsors this week there, Denton.
Oh,
Surprisingly enough, right?
excellent, excellent. Heather, hello, Heather.
Hello,
Yes.
Misty. How are you doing? Did you remember the bucket this week? No, I don't even know. I'm sure what's even going on with the bucket. Uh, no. Yes.
No,
Denton's
no,
got
no.
it. That's
Uh,
what I'm using.
no, I deny all knowledge. I deny not guilty. No, nobody saw me. Nobody saw me. Oh, Monastia. Good evening. Oh, glad you're doing okay. And Tanya.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this week we got a busy week ahead of it. The busy show this week, Denton.
Oh, very good. Excellent.
Yeah, we're giving away 20 healing stones here later on in the show. So
Oh,
there's
that's
30
good. Yes, that's a good one.
36
Mm.
participants that's into this contest. I'm giving that away 20 healing stones as a free gift just because I love you guys that are tuning in. We got another Denton story time,
Hmm.
and it's
Excellent.
about two turds, not just one. We we got guests on tonight as well. Jim and Joanne. We'll bring them on here and bring at least Jim on here. Miss Joanne is running a little late. She's got another show she's doing, so she'll be on here just in a little while. And also, we got some new hosts with co-hosts on the show, and I'd like to introduce them as well.
Very
Shall we
good.
introduce them now?
Yes. Oh, why not? Yes.
Why not? Everybody, please welcome Rosie and Trev. Most of you guys may know Trev from Sleep Solstice. I've been sharing his stuff around and playing his clips here on the show. Welcome, guys.
How's it going?
Welcome
Hey,
It's
indeed.
hey
nice to see
Welcome
guys.
everybody.
indeed.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah, great to see you.
It's good to have
And
you.
and Rosie's
Thank you.
doing something a little bit different for us, different for the show as well. You want to tell everybody about it, Rosie?
Um, I will be popping in weekly and I'll be coming in and giving you guys just a quick weekly reading, oracle reading. Sometimes maybe I'll pop in an astrology forecast in there just to keep us as the collective all up on our energies.
Hmm.
And I'll be coming in weekly with that.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent.
Exciting
Excellent.
show. I'm looking forward to it. Welcome to the show, both of you guys.
Thank you.
Well, Denton, I think we should introduce our guest on the show, hey?
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
yes,
I
definitely.
sound like I'm Canadian. I'm nowhere near Canadian, hey?
That's
Hey?
all right. We'll overlook that.
Everybody, please welcome Jim on to the show.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Welcome,
Jim.
welcome, Jim.
Welcome.
Welcome, Jim.
Welcome.
Hi, Jim.
Thank you.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Starting to sound like the Waltons there.
Oh yes. Good night, John boy. Good night. Oh yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you decided you wanted to be part of the show. Everybody usually comes on, don't want to come back again.
It's not that bad.
Or ever. Oh, no, it's not. I'm just kidding. Lee says, hey, Jim. Hi, Jim. Hi, Jim.
Let's not start that again.
Hi, Jim.
Oh,
So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Jim. Give everybody a little bit of a background about
Sure.
Jim.
Gosh, what kind of brought me to the community over 30 years ago.
Wait a second. Over 30 years ago, you're not
Over
that old,
30
are you?
years ago, yes, I am.
How old are you?
Okay.
It's witchcraft.
Fuck, here we go.
I am 46
Iconic
years,
act.
I am 46 years old. So over 30 years ago, the big blue book that everyone stumbles
Scott
upon.
Buckland, or is it Ray Buckland?
Buckland, yeah, Raymond Buckland. But I was actually about the same time, being influenced a lot by my great grandmother and my grandmother, and I often teach a class called Around the Kitchen Table, and that's where I learned a lot of our family's folk magic ways. We're Scottish and Irish, Appalachian. And of course, those women were very much Pentecostal and would be very upset if you called them a witch. But that's where I learned, got started in herbalism. I'm a master herbalist.
Now, how extreme was the Pentecostal that you was brought up in?
They didn't handle snakes, so it wasn't that
not that extreme. Sure.
but they did believe in speaking in tongues and that sort of thing.
That's what I grew up on, was Pentecostal. My pastor was actually a female pastor.
Oh wow!
It wasn't an extreme.
They let women speak in church.
Well, she was the pastor. Her husband was like the right hand guy, I suppose. But she led the church. She preached every Wednesday, Saturdays, and Sundays, and she took me under her wing, treated me like I was her own kid. And it's like there was a point in time I was sold on it. I was ready to be a youth minister for the church.
They're definitely good people, but they get a little bit
extreme views,
clingy and extreme. So, but
they get a lot of the dancing around and running around the church too.
Right. And what's interesting though is looking back on it, they're a magical people. They won't admit that they're doing witchcraft, but they do it every Sunday and Wednesday night.
Just like most churches do, though, really.
Right.
Just some want to go to the extreme. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just
no.
curious about the Pentecostal, the end of that, because that was my upbringing as well. My family wasn't churchgoers. I chose to go to church on my own just because I wanted to feel like I was part of something. I was one of those lonely kids, had no friends. I spent a lot of time alone. It's either TV or outside playing by myself. So I wanted to be part of something. I got tired of being alone.
Mm-hmm. I totally get that. And I think that's where, a lot of people fall into some groups like that is just belonging, a sense of belonging. And especially when, it's the faith of your family. You kind of go along for the ride to not, rock the boat. But I since then, of course, I've peeled away those layers of Christianity and have found my faith in nature. Very much almost animist in my approach with my herbs and nature, working with the elements and that sort of thing. And we kind of found ourselves, teaching classes here locally as well as online, and just trying to help people to heal body, mind, and spirit is really the foundation of my practice. So.
I can totally agree with that. I'm really on board with that.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about it?
Sure. I have an approach called the Herbal Ally Way, which when I went to school for herbal medicine, I actually took classes with Dr. Christopher, who was an American Mormon herbalist. So another direction that I found myself going in.
Wow.
But hey, everybody. Oh, that's my cousin, Kim.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm so glad how once again, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I do apologize, but I have to stop for a moment before I forget, because I'm just that damn old that I remember something 2 minutes later, it's gone. I'm glad that you shared that link on Facebook to go check her out live singing. Man, what a phenomenal voice that she has on here. I was just blown away.
She is absolutely amazing. My cousin, Wee Kimmy from Scotland. I'm so grateful to connect with family that stayed on the other side of the pond and it wasn't driven across the sea. but great to connect with her, and she's an amazing artist.
Got hell of a voice on her. I was like, damn, man, how does one hold such a note like that, or even get it that high? She was pulling it off like a villain.
For sure. So I really base my work. I was trained in Western herbalism, which is very much like allopathy, where you say, what is this herb? What can it do for me? But in my studies, I took a lot of classes in traditional Chinese medicine as well as Ayurveda, and found myself uniting spirit back with herbal medicine. So modern scientists will divorce spirit from alchemy and call it chemistry, or they'll divorce spirit from astrology and call it astronomy. But they try to do the same thing with herbal medicine, and it just doesn't work, because we're a whole person, body, mind, and spirit. And of course, the herbs have masculine and feminine qualities. They also have astrological qualities. So when you're harvesting your herbs, you're harvesting the planets. And when you're looking at an herb, you need to ask what does it want to do for you, and rather than what can you do for me.
That's the first thing I ask when I pack my bowls. What's this bug going to do for me?
Are you a vegan or sativa?
Yeah, what kind is this? What's it going to do for me?
Right.
I really love hearing that from another person. You speak about how even herbs and stuff have correlations with the planets, just as we have correlations with the planets, and the way that you put it. I used to dive into research like that, but I never got, so deep into it. But I really love hearing that perspective from another person.
Well,
a lot of people around here can be a little more closed-minded about that in certain senses.
Oh, I completely understand. And what I found too is, even myself training in Western herbalism, is I could go to a shelf or I could order the herbs, but there's something to be said for growing it, getting your hands in the dirt.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Save some of that money.
Definitely. I always find it very strange how many people reject any kind of herbal or natural medicine. I mean, I've had people say to me, well, how can a plant, make you better or cure something? And I would say, well, if a plant can, cause you problems, obviously it can also cure you. I mean, so for example, Socrates found out that a glass of hemlock is not really very good for your digestion, So if a plant can kill you, why can't it cure you? So many people don't accept that plants have these powers, and I find it quite ridiculous, really.
I find it quite interesting that somehow, as a collective, humans have weeded out the natural medicine in herbalism and stuff just within the last couple centuries, and just within modern medicine, we've forgotten.
Yes, definitely. And I think myself, I've had to reach back 2 generations to try to remember that wisdom and bring it back. And unfortunately, that great grandmother was gone when I was a young age. So really researching further into her practices and what she did and what she taught me about herbal medicine. There was 2 generations there that kind of chased industrialization and money and comfort, and forgot about a lot of the survival traditions that we had to learn as a species just so that we would be here today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm reading all the comments.
Hi.
Yeah, no,
yes,
it's
that's
really
very true.
interesting.
It looks like Tanya here says, be it animal, mineral, plants. Before that, it says our world is based on balance. The balance is our energy in with that or the world around us, and then continue on with be it animal, mineral, and plants.
Yeah,
Well, that's what it is, right? These pills are just a carbon copy of what the plants has already done.
Yeah, artificial.
And they're just making it artificially. And that's our society has done this, though, right? It's our fast society wanting to do things quick.
Yeah,
so I'll take the pill, pop the pill, and be done with it. Move on.
And a lot of the synthetic, a lot of the medicines that they do come up with have side effects that you don't usually find in a lot of natural stuff. In fact, a friend of mine was having terrible muscle spasms. She could hardly do anything. And it turned out it was the drugs that the doctors had given her. So they made her worse than she was before. You know, at least you don't get that with most natural things. You know, they're not going to.
Yeah.
You don't need a pill to cure what the pill you're already taking is doing to you, sort of thing.
Definitely. And
Kim
I call it the,
sorry, I'm sorry, Jim. Go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, I call it the old lady that swallowed a fly. You know, you take one pill, you have to take something else to get rid of it.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of that.
How many times have we swallowed flies? Man, I can't. Man. That's how they actually patient it when they took the plants to do and isolated and beneficial and took out the beneficial parts.
Definitely. And a good example, star anise, you know, the little spice that's used often in Eastern cooking, but the star anise, actually they base Tamiflu on the active ingredient in there. So something as simple as throwing a couple star anise in your coffee or your tea in the morning.
Would you say star anise?
No, man.
I'm really liking this show.
Right.
It's going to be one of those shows, isn't it?
Don't bring SpongeBob's friend Patrick into this.
I think what we should do now, guys, is we got some music for you lined up as always on this show. We try to bring you some new tunes, something you may perhaps not heard of yet. And then later on, we're going to have another Denton story time coming in there a little bit as well. And we're going to be picking the 20 Healing Stones winner on the show as well. But we're going to play first. I met Anaria, I believe is the name. That's how she pronounces this band's name, Anaria. They did a cover of Wings of a Butterfly by him.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be playing that for you guys right now. So stay where you're at. Don't go nowhere. We got some gifts to give away. We're going to listen to Anaria with her cover of Hymns, Wings of a Butterfly. We'll be right back, everybody.
That's a thing.
Hello, everyone. I would like to make an announcement for everyone here that's watching this amazing video. Let me say something to you. Yeah. Hello. I would like to say that I'm watching Talking with Heathens. And it's actually very funny to do. And if you haven't watched it before, you should do that. It's a nice talks and things. And here is snow and nice weather. So I hope you all will have a nice day with snow and nice weather. Bye.
Having a blazing alright. We're standing still
Hey, this is Josie Scott, the original OG lead singer of Saliva, and you are watching Inner Demon Media. Release your inner demons. We all have demons. We just don't try to hide them.
What a badass.
Welcome back, everybody. That was Lanaria with her cover
Hello,
of
everybody.
Hymns. That was a
She
good
was
song, wasn't it?
fantastic.
That was an
Yes.
awesome cover.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was awesome. I
Just
even
a kid-
noticed that they had a 7-string guitar in there. That gold guitar was pretty.
Hmm.
Loved it.
I'm going to try to get them on a show.
Oh my God, yes.
That would be
Yeah.
Great.
So, Jim, have you done the WitchCon yet?
That is coming up actually in February 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Tell everybody a little bit about that.
You know, it is the world's largest online witchy convention. I kind of lost count of how many teachers there are presenting, but it is people from all over the world. You know, people I've known for years. I always get to meet new great folks when I participate. It is actually produced by Christian Day and his husband, Brian Kane. And they own, of course, some great magical stores in New Orleans and Salem, Hex and Omen. And they started producing this. I think it was during COVID that they started it. I've presented with them 2 times formerly and then again this year. But if you haven't had the opportunity, check it out. It's a great way to go to a conference and actually see all of the speakers, because it's all archived in the library that you can watch after the fact. So you can sit down with a cup of tea and a notebook and really spend time.
Dive in.
A cup of tea
Yeah, really go through and look at them.
or a glass of whiskey, whatever works. But
Glass of tea for me. Maybe a coffee, maybe a can of Mountain Dew.
right.
Well, congratulations on that. I just want you to give a proper shout out to that. I'll get a hold of Jim after the show, and I'll get some information. I'll share it out on my personal page. That way, if you guys that's watching and wants to attend this WitchCon and listen to his presentation, you guys will be able to do that.
Well, that sounds super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm actually presenting on the Celtic underworld and using herbs to cross the veil and work with the She. And I'm excited to actually present some of my family history as well.
That's really cool.
I really want to check that out.
So we was talking before the music break. We was talking a little bit about your past. And I know there's a lot of people, new people that are coming into the craft or whatever it is that they're doing, whatever their path they're taking, whether it's witchcraft, Norse paganism, whatever. You talked a little bit about being in a Pentecostal church, and I think there's a big struggle for that transition process of leaving the church and going over to the pagan side of religion or path. What kind of tips can you give new folks out there that doesn't leave them feeling discouraged? Because there is an internal struggle to kind of break those preconceived notions that if you leave church and you don't worship God, you're going to hell. And I think everybody who's finally got across that part has got it. You know, they understand what it's all about. What kind of advice can you give to people out there that are new to it that helps them not feel discouraged?
You know, I would say it's a day by day struggle, and just takes time to unlearn a lot of the almost brainwashing that happens in those places. But leaving is so redeeming when you can learn that you know, every tradition and every person that walks this planet is valid. You know, from the Hindu to the Buddhist. You know, to the pagan. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, if you're indigenous to the land or, you know, you are a person whose family left the land that your family's from. You can reach back and get in touch with the spirit that moved through your ancestors and through the land itself. And I think that's the biggest thing is making contact and listening, because we have allies in the spirit world that are trying to reach out and help us. And if we show a sign that we're paying attention to them, that's when they really show up. And
would you have any advice for people like wanting to connect with their ancestors and to connect with their lineage or connect with those, that spiritual side? Would you have any advice for people who would want to connect with that but don't really know how or where to start?
Definitely. I think, starting with your own parents, your grandparents. One of the best things I ever did was a genetic test, a 23andMe, just to prove out all of those stories that I heard growing up. Is this true? And there was some nice surprises in there too. But really starting with your family tradition, and remembering that people in Europe were indigenous at one time also. Indigenous to that land, and Christianity kind of wiped out their original traditions before they got to come here and wipe out, the Native Americans' traditions. So remembering that it is possible to connect with ancestors that are pre-Christian, and learn those traditions, learn those homemaking skills. I think magic and the craft and faith is an everyday, every moment thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you gotta have faith.
Totally.
You have to have faith in order to believe in what you're doing. You have to have that. If you're casting a spell or doing something important, a ritual, you got to have a little bit of faith that's going to work. I mean, there's always going to be an element of faith to it. I agree with you 100%.
Yes.
Faith and your intuition is like two key things, I think, for it.
Most definitely. And it's those everyday things, that cauldron is the saucepan on the stove, when you're making soup. The wand is the wooden spoon.
It looks like she may be here. Hang on, let me look. I'm not for sure. We'll check. JoJo.
There she is.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
You got to unmute yourself first, JoJo.
Hello.
First lessons of podcasting.
I'm always on mute. Eddie Massey says that to me all the time. Take yourself off mute.
Everybody, please welcome Joanne or JoJo. I like the
Hello, JoJo. Welcome. Glad to have you.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you. Sorry I'm late. I had a prior engagement that I could not reschedule.
She double booked on us what she did.
Well,
That's
I'm
how
always the
popular they're
third
getting.
Wednesday. I only do one podcast a month, so and he tried to reschedule it for me, and he was unable to. So,
Okay.
And,
well, we'll overlook it on this occasion. Yeah, we'll overlook it this time. So you're all right.
Well, welcome to the show. I'm glad you did make it. I'm glad you're able to make it.
Yes, I was listening to you guys, and Jim talking about WitchCon and everything. I've been listening back here, so
I don't know why I didn't pay attention. I was like, oh fuck, JoJo. I mean, Joanne's supposed to be on. I scrolled down. I was like, I wonder how long she's been on here. I'm so
it's okay.
sorry.
It gave me time to get something to drink and regroup
Cuss me out a few times. What's this motherfucker doing? I'm backstage. I'm waving my fucking hands. I'm doing cartwheels. He's not letting me on.
I was just listening. I'm like, oh wow, this is great.
The whole time doing this. Yeah, I see this, Sid? Making me wait back here. You know what's funny though? Right before the show, I told everybody here, I was like, I'm gonna make her wait. Just to have fun with it. Serves the world. Whoops.
Mission accomplished.
I fucking said.
God damn it.
There we go.
So how is everybody tonight?
Since you're here, Joanne, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Joanne Gajewski. I am the total opposite of Jim, and I'm a little bit more goofy. He's the little bit more serious side. I
No.
am a mental health practitioner. I specialize in trauma, PTSD, and crisis intervention.
Fuck, I need you then.
I've been a
Yeah.
magical practitioner for a long time. We'll just say that. Probably, definitely over 30 years. I've been practicing since I was about 15 years old.
Oh,
And I am the host of Joyful Empowerment, which is a podcast on holistic mental, spiritual, and physical health and how different people achieve those goals in life. And how they bring joyful empowerment into their life. I wanted to do a show that was not a witchy show, but something that brings joy and helps people to find joy in their lives by looking at how other people accomplish that.
I love that.
that's fantastic.
I like the fact because I got similar to what I do. Yes, I'm in the witchy community, pagan community, but I try not to make my shows so directed just to the community because I think everybody can receive a message from shows like what you're doing, what we're doing. Everybody can receive a message, so I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to be different and outside of the box. And Hercules Invictus on Mount Olympus Radio. He's a very amazing man and producer. I was working on Witches Fest. I was doing the online portion, and I was a moderator, and I was his moderator. And he's like, you have a gift, and he's like, he's like, how have you ever thought about doing a podcast? And I was like, oh, and I'm like, I've never thought about it. He's like, well, I'll be getting a hold of you and this and that. And I didn't really think much about it. And then this was my actually 1 year anniversary show. I had Alexander Cabot on there, and and sure enough, the beginning of the year, he got a hold of me, and I was like, wow, okay. And Joyful Empowerment was born,
You two have come together and joined forces to create a show too. We won't talk about that just yet. We'll talk about here in the next segment once we cut off to go do a music video, or actually cut off to do 10 story time.
Ooh.
And then we'll come back and we'll come back and we'll talk about your guys' show and the idea and how you guys came up with the show. How does that sound?
That sounds cool to me.
Like I said earlier, guys, we got some new sponsors for the show tonight, and I want to give them a quick shout out. Magic by Moonlight, thank you for sponsoring our show. We appreciate you. What is cool is that she's local, literally 15-20 minutes away. The shop is, so I'm super stoked that they're become a sponsor of the show. And let me find the other one. Earth Soul Alchemy. I'm bad with names. I got to write it down. If I don't, I'll forget. Earth Soul Alchemy is another one. They're in Ohio, and they become sponsors of our show this week as well. On top of having the Norris Fox Creations as our sponsor. So thank you guys for sponsoring our show. We're going to play one of their ads, and then we're going to play Denton's story time. But before that, we're going to have Trev and his little project called Sleep Solstice play us into this.
Play you guys a couple riffs.
Yes.
A couple riffs. We'll be right back, guys.
Good. Hello. Welcome once again to Denton's Storytime. This time I'm looking at courtship and a wedding, but not one I'd recommend to couples planning to tie the knot today, unless of course you're looking for the Weirdo Nutter of the Year award, and you'd certainly get it with this wedding. This is the wedding of Skadi and Njorda, the combination of solid ice and liquid water in marital form, you might say, because Njorda is connected with the sea and Skadi with ice and snow. But she's not the goddess of winter, as she's so often wrongly called. She wasn't even a goddess at all to begin with, and her only connection with winter would be her love of skiing and hunting in the snow. She couldn't have produced a snowflake if she tried. To cut a long story short, Skadi's father, Thiassi, had kidnapped the goddess Idun, and he got himself killed in the subsequent rescue operation. Now, that really pissed her off. Oh yes, she was mightily pissed off, despite the fact that her father had committed kidnapping and assault and battery too, so you could say he got what he deserved, which he did, of course. But Skadi, she wasn't interested in all those legal niceties. She didn't care about that. She loved her father, and regardless of his crimes, she wanted vengeance. And oh yes, did she want vengeance. Putting on her armor, taking her weapons, and heading for Åsgårda. And she was going to sort the gods out really good when she got there. Now, Skadi was formidable, to put it mildly, and none of the gods wanted to fight her. And they hid behind a law, you see, that stated that blood might not be shed within the walls of Åsgårda. Oh, how convenient that was. Of course, nobody suggested simply going outside the walls, and they could have fought her all day out there, and that would have been fine. But even Thor and Tyr were a right pair of cowardly custards when it came to facing Skadi. One look at her, and they went all wobbly in their lellies. So the gods offered her compensation for her loss. What would she accept? Now, she had to think about it. Oh yes, Skadi was no fool. She spotted a golden opportunity for self-advancement, and she agreed that if the gods allowed her to marry one of them, thus becoming a god herself, you see, clever move there, and also if they could make her laugh, well, she would consider her debt of honor to be paid, and the gods accepted that. But why did she add the laugh requirement? That was a bit odd, really. And the trouble was, Skadi had absolutely no sense of humor. No, not in the slightest. Jotnar were not noted for their happy, joyful personalities at the best of times, and Skadi was a Jotun. They were not the life and soul of the party, you could say. Not that they were invited to very many. And Skadi was at the bottom end of the scale as far as humour goes. But the gods, they did their best. They did their best to get at least a smile out of her. They tell her the funniest jokes they know. They're really breaking up. Oh yes, did you hear the one about, oh, you love this one, it's so funny. And she's like, yes, they're not doing very well. They try pulling silly faces. They go, but Skadi is sort of, they're getting nowhere fast. So eventually, Loki was given the task of making her laugh, and this was Loki at his best. Oh, yes. He tied one end of a rope to a goat, and the other end to his own testicles. And then he and the goat, they had a great big tug of war. The goat gave a mighty heave, and Loki, with no doubt a suitable cry of extreme agony, as his chances of any more children were seriously diminished, is pulled off his feet, and he lands right in Skadi's lap. And she laughs. Well, she sort of chuckled at least, like sort of, Yes, but everyone agrees that is sufficient. It's close enough. It's all they're going to get anyway, so they have to put up with it. Now, to find her a husband and make her a god. Much easy enough, you might think. Just pick a husband from the assembled gods and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. But no, it wasn't quite that simple. For some strange, unfathomable reason, the gods insist that she must choose her husband solely by his feet. No pun intended. And so to accomplish this very curious, nonsensical method of husband selection, all the gods line up behind a curtain with only their feet visible. Weird. Anyway, Skadi chooses the one with the cleanest, nicest feet. Oh, the lovely pair of feet there. Really nice. Beautiful pair of plates to meet. Thinking it must be the lovely Balder. Obviously, lovely feet like that. Oh, they got to be Balder. But no. The nice, clean feet are the result of time spent in seawater. And they belong to, shock horror, Njorda. Well, see, he lives beside the sea, spends much of his time in the water, so his feet, they have a distinct advantage over all the other feet. She wasn't exactly chuffed at that turn of events by a long way. Balder would have been her preference. Of course, he was married to Nana at the time, but who cares about his details like that? Details get in the way. But when she discovers how kind and decent Njorda is, she accepts that she's really got a very good bargain after all. She's quite lucky, in fact, in her choice. He is one of the nicest of all the gods. Now, he already has 2 children, Freyr and his sister Freyja, but Skadi happily accepts them as her stepchildren, and after all, why not? Ready-made children, instant family, no need for any of that hanky-panky, lovey-dovey, how's your father stuff to get them. Oh, God, no, none of that required. And I'm sure Skadi's reaction to the required biological procedure to produce children was probably on a par with her sense of humor, like non-existent. So an instant, no work required family, it must have seemed a pretty good idea. So Skadi and Njorda were married with great pomp and festivities. It doesn't have a happy ending, though, I'm afraid. Well, it is a sort of a fairy tale, so what did you expect? Fairy tales hardly ever end very well. But, it wasn't actually an unhappy one either, the couple eventually parting, but they remained friends, just good friends. So it's not all doom and gloom. But that's a tale for another video. For now, let me just say farewell, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So, goodbye for now.
Welcome back, everybody, to Talking with Heathens. What another great episode, didn't?
Oh, thank you.
That was cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll put it up on YouTube.
I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck Loki was thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't do that.
Chaotic.
But it worked. It works.
It works.
It worked. He fell into the lady's lap with no penis.
Yeah, well,
that worked out really well for him.
I mean, if that had occurred before he had his children, you might say maybe that's why he produced a big snake, a giant wolf, and a reasonably normal woman. That could be an explanation there.
I've seen some unusual shit happen with penises. I'm not going to lie. Like I'm sure everybody has watched the Jackass movies, right?
Yes.
So like they came out with 4.5, and it's on Netflix. And they got 2 guys, and they had 2 thin plastic or plexiglass, and they had screws on all 4 corners in the middle. And They took their penises and put them inside this thing, screwed these two plexiglasses down, and literally flattened it like a pancake. I've never seen nothing like that. And they wasn't screaming. They wasn't trying to jerk out of it. They were playing ping pong with their penises.
Wait a minute, I saw that. I saw that.
Whoa.
That's what I
Ooh,
said,
yeah.
didn't
That's a bit.
I remember
would not
seeing
fancy
that.
that.
They do that. They flatten them like freaking pancakes or whatever, and they're like playing.
I don't know which more extreme though. Is that the jackass boys doing ping pong with their penises, or Loki tying his penis on one end and having a fucking horse yanking on the other?
Yes, it's a bit of a toss-up, isn't it, between the two?
I'm gonna lean away from the bull.
Loki is like.
Is there an option C?
Loki's kind of like our modern day Johnny Knoxville then. But good episode. Great one. Another great one, buddy.
No,
Yeah, I love that. That was fun.
Thank you, my public. Thank you.
Jensen, I think you could read the phone book and make it interesting.
Well, I could try that actually. Yes, see what happens. It might work. You never know.
I kind of like seeing the whole funny faces.
Yeah.
We like the funny faces.
Yeah, the funny faces.
Yeah. Oh, I'm quite good at funny faces. Yes.
That's the one. So, Jim and Joanne, let's talk about you guys' new show. What's
By
the
the way, I
name
don't
of
know. Is anyone else hearing this kind of a squeaking, scratchy sound?
I
hear it.
Like a record playing with no sound. You know.
See, with me.
I don't know.
No.
It's gone now, I think. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
So it's probably me.
What
I might have my TV up a little bit too well listening to that last song. Sorry. You might have been getting
I mean, my
feedback.
cat's being a little vocal in the background. He wants to
Oh,
talk.
nope, it's not me.
But no record player.
Yeah.
You seem to
gone now,
mute
anyway.
yourself and then unmute yourself, and it went away.
It sounded like an overlapping echo from like a piece of audio that was
I got a
already playing.
43-inch monitor in front of me with big speakers, and I got my podcast microphone right up next to it. So yeah, it's me. I apologize. Sorry.
So, tell us about your show.
Yeah.
Joanne, go ahead. Your turn.
My turn.
Carry on.
Well, I was doing spotlight interviews for people on Witches Fest for all the presenters and performers and everything. And basically, there were 5 to 8 minute spotlights, interviews about them, their class, and what they were doing. And several of them had mentioned that they would love to do more and something longer than what I was doing for the 5 minutes. So I had come up with the idea of doing something on my own because I had been doing joyful empowerment for a while. And I said, well, and people like the video aspect for some reason. And they were like, oh, can you do something? I'd love to do something with you a little bit longer. And I love talking with you and having, and enjoying the time. And I wanted to do something, but I wanted to be different and I wanted to collaborate with someone else. And Jim and I just have a really good chemistry together as far as how we play off of each other. And our sense of humor is very similar. And we both know a lot of really good people, and he has a lot of good insight. Like I said, I'm more of the talker and the goofball, and he is more of the intellectual and the spiritual practitioner. He's more disciplined than I am, I guess would be the word. He is the order to my
I'm
chaos.
the same way. I'm the same way. I don't have nobody I got nobody to say no to me though. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. I'm on Joyful Empowerment. I have free reign to do anything I want, and so to me, and we really took our time going through this, and I was like, geez, what's taking so long? When are we going to do this? And waiting for us ended up paying off, whereas I might have been a little bit more impulsive on it. And, I think we came up with a good plan because we didn't want to just do another interview show either where, it's us just, hey, we wanted to incorporate spirituality and magic and things like that into the show. And that's where the idea came from. And then Harold and Monica said, we'd love to put this on Witchcraft TV. And we were like, so that kind of put our butts into gear. And then we met up with you. So the timing just kind of flowed really well, I think.
Yeah, it seems like it worked out great.
Because and I don't want to just highlight, I still want to do like practitioners, performers, artists, we still want to get that whole gambit in there. And we also, wanted to, bring it into the sacred circle, because what is a sacred circle? I mean, if you think about circles over time, symbolically, or even just, women's circles, men's circles, a talking circle, a sacred circle. What better place than to bring conversation, but into a sacred circle, a safe space for people to have a voice to talk about what they do.
Yeah, building that community.
I love also that you're trying to keep it. You're trying to make it more modern. A new way of doing the show. You're just trying to sort of like what we do here. I think that's why it caught my eye when you was talking to me about it. I was like, man, it's really. I think we need more modern ways of showing the craft into the public, and trying to it's maybe a little bit hard trying to balance that fence of what if you feel like you're going too far to the spiritual side, and then or maybe too much onto the mainstream side. With me, that's always I got to walk this. I'm walking this fence. I've been lucky and very fortunate. I've been able to work with and have shows with different people, not in the spiritual community, just different people around the globe. I've had some really high moments, but I think it's really vital to keep it modernized and to keep the attention for the kids now.
Well, we want to show the diversity in the community.
The traditional stuff is awesome and great, but I feel that they're at some point it has to evolve into something else as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Sid, I'm getting. I noticed there's that feedback echo or whatever it is starting up again. Whatever that is.
I don't know if it's me or not.
That weird scratchy sort of sound. I don't know if anybody else is hearing
Keep talking. I think it's you.
I hear it.
You hear it? Yeah, it's just very odd. It's like somebody talking but not quite getting through. There's very, very
I just had it on mute and I was still hearing it, so it must be someone else.
Yeah, I muted it.
Nothing around here.
But technology, isn't it grand?
Oh yeah, well it is until it screws up. Then it's not.
There's always something's going to go wrong on a live show.
That's the joy. That's the joy of live shows. That's why they stopped doing like live commercials on American television years ago when things kept going wrong. Like the guy with the peanut butter jar who was saying this wonderful peanut butter and the bottom fell out of it. And he said the peanut butter is great, but I can't say the same for the jar. So they got tired of things like that, so they went to pre-recorded.
I don't know. Joanne, is it me? I'll mute myself.
Up, it's her.
It's Joanne.
It's Joanne.
Oh no!
Oh, you want to go to
the party? It is. It's Joanne.
What are you doing?
Here, let's do this. Leave and come back. Sometimes it's as simple as the program itself not loading up everything properly.
Yeah.
So what do I do? Just hit leave and then come back in?
Yeah, use the same link. Yeah, I guess so. You got it, Jojo. You got it, Jojo.
Well, that's the joy of doing things live.
I almost heard the door slam.
It's her coming to my house, knocking me over the side of the head. Quit fucking with me.
Yes. Live shows always add a little sort of spice. I mean, it's funny. Like my days in the theater, I don't really remember any shows that went right. I remember the ones where the scenery fell down or somebody missed a cue. They stick in my mind.
I don't think I've ever had a show that I didn't have at least one technical problem.
Oh, she's back.
Let's try it.
Hello, welcome back.
Am I scratchy?
No.
No, seems okay.
A little bit, not too bad.
Oh,
I mean,
listen,
the
I heard
audio
you.
sounds a little weak, but I don't hear the crackling and the background noise.
No, it seems okay. Hmm.
Connection restored.
Well, I'm operating off my phone because my laptop decided to take a
Shit.
Yep.
We hate those.
Windows 11 like totally screwed up my HP, and I'm like livid because it's a fairly new laptop, and now I can't even get it to boot up, and I'm like so frustrated.
Oh no.
I know.
I just had an Xbox take a shit on me too. I bought my kids. I let them when they have. But my Noah, when he goes to school, he's allowed. They get sticks. That kind of gauges how well they behave during the week. The more sticks he gets, the better he behaved. So I reward them by if he gets like 12, 13, 15 sticks out of 20, I let them play a little bit of Xbox during the
that's
weekend.
good.
So it gives them something to look forward to for the weekend. Do good in school, you'll be able to play the Xbox. So I bought two Xbox Ones. I bought the one day before yesterday. I bought it, had it hooked up. The very next fucking day, the other one takes a shit.
Oh God!
So I got to go out and hunt another one. But I hate when technology goes shit.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But I love Windows 11. I'm sorry that happens to you because I absolutely love Windows 11.
Well, and it's HP. It's not like it's an older one. It's only it's like a 2019. It's not like that old. You know what I mean? And my Toshiba, my backup laptop from like 2013 was working great, but it doesn't take Windows 11. So that's not, and it's not updating like it should for the Windows 10 anymore. So I'm like, ugh. So I'm down to my phone at the moment, which is frustrating.
It is frustrating to have to keep upgrading.
You know what we're missing, Denton?
What?
A phone call.
A phone call.
You are not getting a phone call this week.
Oh yeah.
2-3 weeks in a row, you had telephone calls during the show. You didn't get one this week.
That's very true. Has my popularity declined?
What's
That's true. Yes, because I kept getting interrupted with phone calls, which is extremely annoying. But I was very good. I didn't say shut up. I'm live on air. I was very good. But yes, that's true. We're missing the phone. Well, hold on. Fingers crossed. Touch wood. It could still come.
There's still a little bit more time.
A bit more time yet.
So JoJo and Jim, what did you guys decide on as far as the name of the show? I forget.
It is Inside the Sacred Circle.
Inside the Sacred Circle.
That's a good title.
And you guys just aired your first episode or first show the other day, right?
We did kind of a get to know each other episode for everybody to get to know us and kind of give some direction for where we were going with it.
And so where can we get access to the show?
Great question, Rosie.
So we did start a brand new YouTube channel, and it is Inside the Sacred Circle on YouTube. And we will kind of be growing our social media presence as we do more shows. But that is available there. We'll also be, hosting the show on our individual YouTubes. I'm trying to stream. I have a Facebook group called Witchcraft Together. And, of course, I'll be sharing everything there as well. And
do you guys stream the show live like this, or do you guys post it weekly, or?
We do it live, and then it goes on to Witchcraft TV, and it stays on YouTube, I believe, and all the other platforms, right, Jim?
Yes.
You're the techie.
The goal is to do twice a month. We had a little bit of scheduling conflicts there, but the goal will be to do twice a month, and we'll be announcing a regular time as soon as We agreed to that again.
Okay.
Just to be more regular.
Is it just me? Or anybody else want to say, "Damn it, Jim"?
Yes.
Do it.
Damn it, Jim, pick a time.
Damn it, Jim. Pick a time.
Time in a day, because but basically we want to showcase the diversity of our community, and the different, how we're people like everybody else. When people hear the word witchcraft or they hear the word magic, there's kind of a
They're going, "What's these
stereotype.
motherfuckers on? What's this
Like a
dude on?"
stigmata about it.
There's definitely a stigmata about it.
Yes, exactly. And we're just people like everyone else, which is why I like things like Witches Fest and WitchCon and platforms like this, because it shows just how diverse we are. We're people just like everybody else.
Human beings in the end is what we are. All this other stuff is just bells and whistles. At the end of the day, if you can respect the person, the individual, as a human being, that's where you build the relationship. Nothing after that really matters, right? It shouldn't, at least. If you're getting to know the person. Outside of you, once you start getting to know that person, that everything else that their practice and what they believe in doesn't really matter, right? So you focus on the person and not the belief. That's where you change lives.
Yes, you're right. I find so many people, if you mention anything witchy or magic or anything like this, they immediately sort of visualize people in pointy hats stirring cauldrons while they drop iron news and Tony Frog into it. You know,
we got them. We got the groove too, yo.
But that's not what that's not the only thing it's about.
Says you.
Prayer takes many different forms, and connecting with divinity or God or spirit or creator or the god and goddess. Whatever you do, prayer is prayer. You're asking the divine to intercede on your behalf to help you in your life with something.
I don't give a fuck if you're praying to God. I don't care if you're on your knees praying to God. I don't care if you're on your knees praying to Satan. I don't care if you're on your knees praying to Zeus or Odin.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, if someone wants to worship a turnip on a stick, I mean, fine, get on with it. If that makes you happy, and
why not?
If you're doing that though, for the sake of the show, if you decide to do a turnip on a stick, film that and send it our way.
Well, I haven't actually thought of it, but
I think as humans, we're naturally drawn to just feel connection to source, to a source, to the source. And source comes in many forms. It can come in the form of, like you guys were all saying, like God, goddess, deities, different forms of energy. It's all energy.
Allah, Buddha.
Astrology.
Well, there's a question that Kathy asked. What's the about the term witch? Which I thought was like, sort of, what's the essence of the word witch?
The essence of the word witch.
For myself, sometimes I find that witch is just the easiest way to describe what I do.
It's a healer. You're a healer, in essence. A nurse at a hospital is a witch. She's a healer.
Yeah, well, the cat obviously has an opinion. The cat was butting in there as well.
He's always got an opinion.
You have something to
mine
say.
has opinions right now, too. He's on the grumbling in the background. But to me, being a witch is empowering. It's empowerment. It's a way of looking at life and finding balance. That's how the essence of being a witch to me. It's being true to who I am, to my core, and it's walking in humility and gratitude and
you're connecting with nature. I think that's what the craft in itself is like, connecting with nature. Instead of being connected to God, you're allowing yourself to be connected to nature, what's here, what's now, what's present, and what could be in the future. And that's a real struggle for a lot of newbies too, is disconnecting from that thought of I only serve God and going and actually serving what their surroundings, Mother Nature, the things that she has to offer. They feel they're taught to be, basically fucking scared, fear. But you're right, that liberating feeling of saying I'm a witch or I'm a pagan. There's a sense of
and feeling safe with it.
Yeah, a little bit of like just liberty. You feel good. You feel great. That weight is off your shoulder.
Mhm.
Definitely.
It's marching to my own drum, like you said. To me, it's sitting down by a river and just listening to that river flow, and listening to that message that it has for me. Because to me, that's divinity, God, the goddess speaking to me, through that river and through that emotion, and incorporating it into my life. I'm a holistic healer, so I focus on mind, body, and spirit. Obviously, I'm a therapist, so the mind, what you put into your body, it's about alignment.
That's yes, that's very that's good.
I'm a spiritual guy. I started in witchcraft,
Hmm.
but I can call myself. I'm happy to say I'm just Sid at this
Yeah,
point.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just Joe. I'm an eclectic practitioner.
Well,
That's
I'm
what I
glad you
call
know
myself.
who you are.
Well,
That always helps.
let me explain. When I first got back into witchcraft, I was just getting sober and I was trying to find my way again. So I leaned my life towards witchcraft, which allowed discipline in my life, some structure in my life, and it helped me keep my mind off wanting to use.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, it was the complete circle phase of when I started, and I've done a lot of these shows, and I've met a lot of people, learned a lot of things from everybody, and I've come back to the beginning now, which is now is the end, and I've found myself comfortable, not saying that I'm a witch or I'm a Norse pagan or I'm strictly a heathen. I'm just happy just being me right now.
Yeah, you're quite happy just being Sid. And
Yeah.
Rosie, you were saying at the beginning you were going to do something for us with the cards, or that was it?
Yes, I.
Is it time?
Is that time?
Well, not quite yet, but we're gonna be wrapping it up soon. We're gonna have you do your card reading the last part of the show. It's
Very
like
good.
everybody
Yes,
it's
that'll be
fresh in their head and they're not letting lose the message. Denton's all pushing us. He's a pusher tonight.
Would I do it? Would I do a thing like that? What, me? Push, never.
Ooh, maybe he has a hot date.
No,
To be
don't
fair,
actually.
it
Sorry
is
about that.
it is like what, almost 2 o'clock, or is it 2 o'clock there? 2:15?
It is 2:15 a.m. Here. Yes.
And yeah, so to be fair, he's a champ. To wrap it up for Denton, when is your guys' next show?
Jim.
You haven't decided that yet, huh?
Let's say next Thursday we'll film again. We'll do again if that's okay with Joanne.
I told you my schedule right now is ridiculously free because I'm trying to find an internship, and I can't find anything within 150-mile-an-hour radius, and I really don't want to travel 2 hours a day each way.
No.
Yeah, so I'm in kind of a conundrum, but on that level, on my my Muggle world thing. But I just wanted to say, Sid, that I say this a lot on my show. When we come to witchcraft or spirituality or whatever you want to call it, most of us are on our knees. When I came to the goddess Demeter, I was on my knees because my daughter had just got diagnosed with ASD, and we weren't sure how it was going to go. Was she going to be verbal? Was she going to be nonverbal? And that's when I came really. I'd been doing it since I was 15, but I got married and I stopped for a while, and I wanted to be that, PTA, I gotta be the, whatever. And I ended up coming back and, coming back to my altar and on my knees and saying, I need some guidance here. And so, yeah, I think spirituality, no matter how you practice, is, whether it's being a witch or a warlock or, whatever you want to call yourself, it's all about your connection with the divine.
That's it.
Yeah.
You guys, Jim, would you like to take a question from a viewer?
Oh, sure.
Would you like to?
Okay, let's go.
Scott asks Jim, how do you know which path to take?
Goodness. I would start by saying go with what resonates with you. Nobody can point you in the right direction. We can, of course, walk with you, until our paths diverge, because you're going to go in a different direction than everybody else's. And just finding what resonates with you. I mean, I've gone down so many rabbit holes over the years, but I always come back to herbs. And, you'll find what resonates with you, and then that will, light your path, for the rest of your journey. And a lot of people will come across your path and help you on that way. And when the time comes, they go in their direction and you go in yours. And it's just a beautiful tapestry of life in that way. So
there's
that
no
would be
right or wrong way.
Let's just go with what resonates with you.
Well, you got anything to add to it, Joanne or Jojo?
There's no right or wrong way to practice. And like Jim said, you'll know, ultimately you'll know what you're called to. Something will resonate with you inside. And I always say, go with your inner guidance, that inner voice inside of you, because it's never wrong. And if it feels good, that's what counts. If you feel resistance towards it, or you're not sure about it, then that's kind of a something right there to say, maybe I need to look at this a little bit more. But I know, to me, it's always, I've just known what was right for me, and I've gone with that because I felt good. Whenever I did it, I felt good. Whenever I walked away, I felt like crap. And to me, it's helped me heal my life. I lost my dad in 2021, and if it wasn't for the people around me like Jim and Christian Day and Sandra and different friends that I have that were there for me, I went through a really hard time. I went through a real dark night of the soul. People I thought should have been there weren't, and people like Jim surprised me and were there for me and picked me up when I was down. And so I think, go with your inner guidance system. It will never fail you.
Your inner GPS will lead you right in the right direction, except where they say rerouting. And that's going to happen a lot. Just flow with it.
No, that happened to me. I ended up in a field in Maine. I'm like, what the
I think that explains our spiritual path as well. End up in a field in Maine. How did I get here?
Tell everybody once again where they can find you guys at here on Facebook.
Well, right now on YouTube, we are on Inside the Sacred Circle. We're about to create a Facebook site as well, Inside the Sacred Circle. You can find me under Joanne Gajewski. And I haven't created anything for Joyful Empowerment yet. I probably should. I've always just been Joanne, so that's where you can find me. And
same. Everybody, like and follow me, on YouTube as well as Facebook. If we have mutuals, I'll usually accept a friend request, but you could also follow me if you don't want to be subjected to my pictures of my cat.
And we have a Gmail account now that you can inbox us in if you want to have a reading or a session with either one of us for anything. What's the email? Is it info at Inside the Sacred Circle? Is that?
No, just Inside the Sacred Circle at gmail.com right now. But yeah, we're hanging out at Witchcraft Together too, which kind of drives our purpose, and trying to unite the community and understanding that we have more in common with those who would like to see our demise. So lifting each other up and circling the wagons is really important right now.
Yep.
Well, thank you two amazing fucking souls for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me. And again, I'm sorry I bumped on late. But
oh, you may have been a little late, but you was on for an hour. Can't complain of that. Can't complain of that at all. But thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight, sharing space with us, sharing a little bit of your guys' story, having some laughs with us. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out.
Yes, and hopefully you'll be on we'll have you guys on our show sometime soon as well.
Hey, just name the day and time.
Very nice. Yeah. That'd be nice.
Rosie. It's time for your weekly card reading. What is it? Readings by Rosie.
Aha.
Oh, nice.
She's going to give everybody a week, like their weekly card reading until next Wednesday, and then she'll give you guys another one. But Rosie, the floor is all yours. And before she begins, I'll get this out. We've got a video to play after this. And it's going to be Pharaoh's Son, which they'll be on the show, my Talking with Demons show this Saturday. I'll have the band on Pharaoh's Son, so we're going to play that song playing that's out tonight. Tomorrow is the official launch of Heathen Nation Radio. We'll be giving you guys show updates for live DJs. You'll be coming on there doing DJs. We'll have live DJs. Harold from Witchcraft TV's got a show going on, a monthly top 10 show of pagan music. He's got that going on. He's got another show I think he wants to do as well. I'm bringing back Delinquents Ball. So it's gonna be cool. I'm excited for Heathen Nation Radio. It's officially launching tomorrow.
Lovely.
Yay.
Oh, cool.
Excellent. Yay.
But outside of that, Rosie, the floor is all yours.
All right. So we
wait a second. I fucked up. Hang on, Rosie.
Wait a minute.
I gotta give a fucking gift away.
Oh, yeah.
we do.
Oh, yes. You forgot about that.
How did I forget that? Okay, you guys. Are you guys ready
Go
for
ahead and do that first.
Yeah, let's do that first.
Let's do that first.
Add to stage. Here we go. Here is the wheel. We have 36 participants in this 20-piece Healing Stone set. And we're about to spin the wheel. Good luck to everybody. Here we go.
Woo, Astrid.
Great work.
Congratulations, Astrid, on the Stones. She's been a viewer on this show for a few years now. So congratulations to you. You won something.
Congrats.
See, there's
very nice,
being my friend. Congratulations once again. All right,
Absolutely.
Rosie, are you ready?
I think I am.
Take it away, Rosie.
The floor is all yours.
So we are actually currently heading into the week with some Cancer full moon energy, which is going to be pretty emotional. I know I cried yesterday. And then on top of that, of course, we just had the Pluto Kazemi a few days ago on January 20th, which was a huge planetary shift. Pluto was not only entering Aquarius, but the sun conjuncted it and entered Aquarius with it all day long. So we're going to be feeling that energy for the next 2 weeks. This is probably going to bring some pretty revolutionary change to our surroundings, but also like political surroundings. You can expect within the next 20 years, some transformational change among politics and power being returned to the people. But it's not going to be such an easy road, but we'll get through it. All right. Ooh, sorry. I'm on a Pashmina scarf right now, so my cards aren't so happy. Other than that, right now I'm using the Osha Zen Tarot deck. It is one of my favorite decks to really just connect with the overall collective. And connecting with the overall collective is really important right now, staying connected to one another. So what energy do we have for this week? We have intensity and politics, both things that I just mentioned. Let's end with one more. All right. So I actually got a couple of these earlier. Let's see. So we're going to start off with intensity. There's a lot of intense movement right now. And we're really going to feel that because Mars just entered Capricorn, and there's going to be a lot of tension, but you can also expect a lot of drive towards new businesses being started. On top of that, we have politics, and politics doesn't necessarily relate to what I was just talking about, but more politics relate to, in this instance, do you connect with the actions you're taking? Do you really morally feel that the actions that you're taking align with your path that you want to reach? Do your actions align with the end goal? And then the Fool. Remember, with all this seriousness and all of this tension happening right now, we want to really bring in the energy of the Fool. Remember to play around, not take everything so seriously, and to just let ourselves breathe and try new things, experience. To pair with that, we have Living Moment to Moment. This is a really beautiful card. You see this man in a kimono dancing among clouds, or no, he's skipping along rocks in a sea of rainbows. So he's kind of just living moment to moment, going from, rock to rock, skipping along and just trying to take that moment in rather than look too far ahead. So remember, along with, if you do have an intense drive to start a business or start anything new, remember to take the learning process moment to moment rather than, pushing yourself too far into the future. And then also go into whatever this is with courage. Make sure that you allow yourself to rise through the hardships. This represents a bit of a daisy coming through the rocks here, and you can imagine that it took a lot of courage for it to really grow through its harsh surroundings, especially being such a delicate form of energy, having to thrive through harsh surroundings. So remember, even if it's tough and you feel like everything around you is really just weighing in on you and it's rocking and you feel like you're stuck in that rock and you're being weighted down, allow your gentleness to come through with ease, and you can have an amazing breakthrough that way. We are going into, like I said, this age of Aquarius with the Pluto Cazimi. So remember, if you're having some confusing thoughts, if you're having some really intense dreams, or you're just feeling really cloudy up here in your head, breathe moment to moment, allow yourself to play around with it a little bit, and trust your instincts. You guys have a great week.